yo, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope everyone's having a good day so far. Today, we are back with another discussion video. This time around, we're going to be talking about the DCU. Man, crazy. So I didn't know if I was ever going to make a video talking about the DC universe. I don't think... I didn't think it was going to happen. And I didn't know if it was going to happen at all. But I wanted to talk about the DC universe and what I think about it. And the fact of the matter is, I don't care about the DC at all. But yet, I'm making a video on it, so therefore I must care about it. But no, so DC for me is very limited to be quite frank with you all. There's only a couple parts about the DC I have watched, and it starts with there's my cursor. It all starts with this little guy right here, this little man, Batman. Batman is the only DC movie I have watched. I have not watched anything else of the DC. I haven't seen anything Superman related. Well, we'll talk about what I actually have seen, but haven't seen Aquaman. I think I've watched Suicide Squad, but yeah, I don't think I don't think I liked it at all. I barely remember it, but yeah, man, it all started with Batman. I watched all the Batman movies. I watched Gotham. Gotham was a big one for me. Like, I thought the Batman movies were okay. I didn't particularly like them. Like, I thought they were all right. They weren't my favorite movies of all time. But Gotham is where the whole Batman thing stood out to me, because if anyone watched Gotham, like, it was really good. And I don't know if Gotham was done by the CW, but it probably was. But to me, Gotham was eye-opening for me for like all of Batman, because Batman itself, the movies, it's about this dude wearing a suit. Basically what it was. He had a traumatic past. Gotham really lets you into not Batman as a character, but the world of Batman. It lets you, because like you watch the Batman movies, you don't know about the world. You don't. You know about Batman. You know about, who his enemies are and whatnot, but Gotham lets you in on like the whole city. Like, it lets you know about everything that was around Bruce before he became Batman. And that's what I loved about Gotham. I thought, like, the characters were so good in that show. The casting was really good for a lot of the villains. I don't know. I really thought that show did a good job of what it did. And it went on for, like, I think a long time. I think 3 or 4 seasons. That show went on for a while, and Gotham, I think, was the best part. I think my favorite part of the whole DC universe. Just because, like, it did an amazing job. It did its job. It did really good. It did real good. I liked it a lot. I don't know. I really did like the Gotham. It was a great part of Batman for me. I think it was like my favorite thing out of everything I've seen from the DC universe. But yeah, and what I want to touch into next is what I've seen in terms of the DCU, which is to do with CW. Now, I've seen The Flash, Arrow. I've seen all the CW superhero shows, and let me tell you, oh boy. Goodness gracious, I'm dying here. I need some water, dude. I'm getting really choked up over this DCU. Goodness gracious. Okay, goodness gracious. Okay. If I could breathe for a second. So with the CW shows, I want to talk about The Flash first. We're going to get into I'm going to try and remember all the shows that I've seen of the DCU, but to start with The Flash, I watched The Flash. I started watching The Flash when, I think, 2017. And I only watched it because I had nothing to do. I had the flu, and I was off school for a week because I had the flu. But yeah, I laid there and watched The Flash, and that was the best week I've ever had. I just sat there and watched The Flash. That's all I wanted to do. And it was great. It was fantastic. I think like I spent that whole week watching Netflix, and it was the best thing, man. It was so good. And yeah, and that's what I did. I just sat there watching The Flash. I think that was the first thing I watched on Netflix. And I watched other shows, but to kind of get into that point, the first season of The Flash was probably the best season of the show. Like, nothing topped the season 1. Nothing could top that first season. It felt so, like, campy, I guess is the word I would use, but I don't know. The story felt so small compared to all the other seasons, and, well, the way The Flash ended as a show was really bad. It was so bad. The last season of The Flash was awful. It was gross. Wasn't great. And then Arrow, I feel the same way about Arrow. Like, you know, I think season 1 and 2 were really good, and then the show kind of fell off. I feel like with Arrow, they kept running out of villains. Like, they kept running out of bad guys to throw into the mix, you know? But I do feel like Arrow and Flash were, like, really good. I'm trying to remember all the other shows. I should have grabbed a list, honestly. I really should have. I can tell you Supergirl was garbage. I thought Supergirl season 1 was better than the entire show. You know, I think it was okay. Legends of Tomorrow first season was good, and then the rest of the show was bad. I think that's where I stand with that. God, what are the other... I'm trying to think. What were the other DC shows that CW did? My blanking was Supergirl, like it. I feel like there was more than that. Legends of Tomorrow, Supergirl, Arrow, Flash. I mean, that might be it. I don't know. I can't really think of any others. It's all such a blur. Superman and Lois, funny enough, I thought CW was like, I thought they were done making superhero shows, and then Superman and Lois came out. The first season of that show was so good. Like, there was a tone shift. It felt good. And then the next 2 seasons were bad. It's like, I don't know, there was this constant theme where CW kept making, like, it's like they don't know how to end their shows, but they know how to, it's like they know how to start their shows, but they don't know how to end them, which is super weird, man. It's super strange. I don't know why that's the case. That's so weird. It's really strange. I couldn't tell you why, but, yeah, my experience with the DCU is not great, and that's probably why, like, I've never gotten into the other movies. Like, I just haven't cared to watch it because, like, you know, if Gotham, I think Gotham was the peak for me of, like, where a TV, I mean, they didn't know how to end Gotham, for one thing. They kind of just ended it with Bruce becoming Batman and nothing else after that. So, you know, that was cool, I suppose, but, I feel like Gotham was the high point, and then CW from there on out was just nothing but low points. And I think that's why I stopped caring about the DCU, is because if this was it, if like the shows and Gotham were going to be it for me, you know, it's like, why should I bother going to watch the movies, you know? Because I think in my head I was just like, this is what I'm going to expect when I go in to see a DC movie. Is I'm just going to expect garbage. I don't know. DC's not for me. I can tell you that for a fact, because currently, I don't watch any DC shows, and I don't plan to. But, yeah, it kind of sucks that, you know, the CW or DC can't make anything good. It's unfortunate, but maybe with this DC reboot, things will be better. Doubt it, but Who knows? Anywho, that's gonna be the video for today. But thank you guys for watching. If you did, as always, I appreciate it a ton, and I will see you guys in the next video. And yeah, goodbye.